we begin in the air today, literally, no, talking about the safety of our airspace. Where the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, the NCAA, on Wednesday, yesterday, announced that it has suspended the air operator certificate of Ghana Airlines with immediate effect amid safety concerns. The directive is contained in a letter issued and endorsed by the NCAA Acting Director General Chris Najomo in Abuja. It says that the action was based on elevated safety concerns posed by the airline. Ghana Airlines McDonnell Douglas MD H2 aircraft was involved in a runway excursion at the domestic wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos on Tuesday, and the incident occurred around past 9 a.m. local time, thereby leading to the shutdown of the runway where the incident happened, while some aviation experts already fought in the decision of the federal government, saying this amounts to interference in aviation operations. I'm being joined tonight to look at some of these issues and perhaps the dynamics and some of the decision of the federal government in this respect. I'm being joined by the Minister of Aviation, Mr. Festus Keyamo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you, Sean, for inviting me.
Yeah, indeed, some of those who are agitating are quoting the law, which you probably are very familiar with. And sad incident, looking at the history of Dana, this is happening again. But give us an update of what exactly is going on. You know the books of Dana, you know what is going on, and the NCAA, under your leadership, has gone to say they will do an audit to show the health status of the airline in terms of financing and operation-wise. What exactly is going on with Dana Airline?
Well, Sean, thank you. For me, the last thing I want to happen to me as Minister of Aviation is to have blood on my hands, blood of innocent Nigerians, as a result of either the negligence or deep complicity or corruption of those who are supposed to be regulators of the aviation industry. As Minister, my job is to supervise them and to ensure that they carry out their duties. My duty is not to regulate. So those who quote the law, who are quoting the law, they should know that I know the law more than they do. My duty is to supervise those who are supposed to carry out their legal duties and to tell them when they are not doing their duties, to tell them to do their duties. So one of my first KPI is to ensure the safety of our airspace and to ensure that the regulators also do their job. So when I came into office, even before I came into office, I'm sure you have heard of consistent incidents involving perhaps Dana Airline, to mention a few of them. I'm sure you heard at the point that on approach to the runway at a point, the door flew open. You know that popular incident. A door of an aircraft flew open. So who are the engineers that are supposed to look at this? Who are the engineers that are supposed to check, for the safety of the aircraft and, its parts? There were also incidents involving, one or two of his aircrafts at different times, consistent, after the fatal crash of Dana the other time that killed Nigerians. There was, of course, internal reports. I don't want to deceive Nigerians because this involves their safety. As aviation minister, I owe a duty to Nigerians to be honest and frank to them when it comes to their safety, the flying public. So there were internal reports before I came, not me, by the same regulators.
Under your predecessor?
Under my predecessor.
What does it say?
About, series of infractions.
By
the same airline, series of infractions. And the conclusion, of course, that they were not healthy enough to fly their fleets.
But
at that time,
they went into the skies after such a report.
What they did, how thorough they did it, before they now said, okay, start flying again. We don't know. They have not convinced me. So my own point is that, look, whilst we argue about, back and forth, who has power, who does not have power, the point is that the flying public is at risk. And if anything happens, Sheung, if anything happens, any tragic incident happens, you know it is the minister they will call for his resignation. I'm sure you know that. Nigerians will not spare the minister. So if that is the case, what is my role as a supervisor? What is my role? Am I a lame duck minister? And in any case, I'm sure you saw the release by the NCA. The NCA took that decision. I threw my weight behind them. But I also gave them a directive to do their job. So I did not write to the airline. Hold on. I did not write to the airline. Take note. That is taking over the powers of the NCA. I did not write. I told the people who are supposed to do their job, do your job, which is my job. My job is to tell you to do your job. So if, for instance, a series of incidents are happening, I want to ask a simple question. As minister, should I not tell the regulators to do their job in respect of those incidents? That is the least I can do. Because if we don't do that, I'm sorry to say we're going to have flying coffins in the air in Nigeria. And that will be the last thing I want to do. And of course, like I said, the last thing I want to do is also to deceive Nigerians about the state of health of our aircrafts that are carrying, innocent Nigerians.
So you can say for a fact tonight that Dana Airline have been flying without, with an unhealthy status all along.
They should carry out the audit. There was an audit 2 years ago that confirmed the unhealthy status.
And they were taken off.
And then at some point, something happened. And I said, go back and review it and say, how thorough was that before you allow them to continue to fly again? Is that wrong on my part? You see, let me tell you the problem, Sheung. The problem with Nigeria, with the sector I find myself, is that we have people who claim to be experts everywhere. Everybody is an aviation expert. People who have sold puff at the airport will tell you that they have been at the airport for a long time, that they are aviation experts. And I've challenged them over and over and over again since I came to office. Come on TV. If you think you have better ideas and better way to run the aviation sector, let us have a debate. Because what we have done since we came is to set clear priority areas for ourselves. And these priority areas, we are pursuing them with all honesty and vigor and with the renewed hope agenda of the president.
So what ask the question, if Dana Airline, that's what I wanted to take out from you.
Yes.
If Dana Airline has had issues on the health status of their operation, how then are they being able to fly? Have you done a thorough audit of your own ministry, of your own agency, which shows that they have endangered the lives of Nigerians by allowing people to fly Dana, even when they know that there is no certainty on the capacity or the health status of that airline?
Unfortunately, I'll have to say this, I won't run away from it, that there is deep complicity within the system, and the cleansing process will start and continue till I get to where I'm going. The cleansing process from within the system, because you see regulators at times buying big houses, driving big cars. Regulators who are supposed to be public servants. How do they do this? Because they are endangering the lives of Nigerians by cutting corners. Do you know that they falsify reports? Certain people, I'm not talking about Dana now, so I'm not going to say I'm here on the campaign against Dana. I want them to survive. I want them to do the right thing. I'm here to support, to make sure that they are safe, are healthy as a company, and Nigerians are also safe when they fly these airlines. But Sheung, the truth of the matter is that there's falsification of reports going on in the system. Falsification of checks they do, falsification of trainings they do. Pilots.
Would these people be brought to book?
Oh, yes. I'm just what I'm fighting, what you see going on, you see these commentaries by so-called aviation experts since yesterday. It is a system of corruption that we are fighting. And we're going to bring down that system of corruption within the sector that I find myself. This sector is one of the most corrupt that I have seen, because people bypass regulations. And the point with sector is that you don't have a second chance. It's not like a car where you are driving, say there's a problem, let me park and check. There's no park and check. Once there's a problem on air, the next thing is that everybody's gone. So there's no room for error. No room for error.
Let's look at your...
Since yesterday, they have been paying commentators. I see them paying paying people to go and comment and in so-called forum, minister does not have power. Most of them don't fly those airlines. So after compromising, they know the airlines to tell their relatives, avoid that airline. But they have compromised because they know the health status of some of those airlines. But they will tell their people, they will tell their relatives, don't fly. But they will allow Nigerians, innocent Nigerians, to fly those airlines.
We'll see all this complicity and how they're going to be brought to book if government officials and regulators who are supposed to uphold the law and hold the operators to high standard are falsifying and being complicit in all of these funny behaviors. We hope that this government is going to bring some people to book, and we're hoping that Nigerian people should be able to see.
Let me say it first here now.
Yes.
Exclusive. I'm setting up a ministerial committee very soon, in a matter of days.
What would that be doing?
Bringing in experts, in the industry, very experienced people in the industry on some of these issues.
Including safety.
Oh, yes, that's number one.
Let's talk about your own, because if you as a minister have also done something that is against the law or outside that is ultra-vires, your duty as a minister, let's discuss it. Do you have the power to direct NCA to do what they did?
Section 26 says I can direct them.
Against Section 4.3.
Section 26 says that on matters of policy, I can direct NCA to do the right thing. In matters of national security is wide enough to cover the health and safety of Nigerians.
So it's on that grounds that you are taking
national security is wide enough. It's wide enough to cover.
Are you looking at Section 4.3?
To cover the health and safety of Nigerians.
Minister,
I'm saying that Section 26. Yeah. Section 8.3 says they have powers over regulations and all that. This is not regulation. It's a matter of do your work. Let me tell you the intent of those sections when they say there's no political interference. The intent of those sections is that the NCA should not be doing something towards safety. And then political interference says, please grant this person pass, waive this for this person. I hope you understand me. That is the intendment of those sections. The intent of those sections is that there should not be political interference that endangers the lives of Nigerians and removes the powers of the NCA to make safety regulations. However, the reverse is the case here. The reverse is the case because the minister is telling you, please put safety measures in place. I hope you understand me. It is the political interference that is saying that you must insist on safety measures.
But did you actually allow NCA to do his job in the first place?
No, but
because the autonomy as guaranteed under the Act that provides for the role and the establishment of the NCA.
Did you see the NCA release?
I saw the NCA release, which were put on the screen.
They said the minister has thrown his weight behind their decision. So they should read well, the so-called aviation experts.
But you instigated that action.
They said, of course I did. I said, do your...
Does that not take away the autonomy of that? If you are
what does Section 26 say?
And I'm talking about the earlier section which guarantees the autonomy, who says that they must be able to generate their own thought in action of an incident.
Yes.
But this was instigated by you.
And so hold on now. Series of incidents are happening. Their own reports 2 years ago says you are not healthy enough. Your own report. And I'm saying, have you done a thorough check of what you, not me, you wrote 2 years ago on the same issue?
Minister, let me ask you, the decision of the federal government, because this is now a decision of the federal government, not only that of the NCA, because your ministry in your office had instigated the directive to shut down or to suspend the actions and the operations of that airline.
Hold on, you must be complete, to carry out safety audits for the sake of Nigerians. I am here.
That's a global standard practice.
Yes, I am here responsible. Listen, I'm here answerable and responsible to Nigerians, the traveling Nigerians and innocent Nigerians out there, and my employer. I'm responsible not to aviation experts interpreting the law. I must ensure their safety. That is who I'm responsible to. So if those aviation experts they can go and enter those aircrafts that are declared unsafe. Let them take their wives and children and their parents to enter those aircrafts. But I am here to protect innocent Nigerians. So I'm answerable to them.
So I asked the question, is that a global standard practice?
Global standard
if there is a skidding of the runway.
Not skidding. That is the problem. That is what the mistake you are making and everybody's making. A series of incidents without regulatory control. Series of incidents.
So you're not...
I told you about the other one. A door flew open on air. Flew open. The same aircraft. Are you not shocked? Are you not worried? Near landing, tire will burst.
So the suspension is not on the incident of Tuesday night.
Did you hear the NCA?
I heard and I saw. We have it on.
He said series of incidents. Series of incidents.
So there are issues around.
Should I fold my arms, really? I'm asking a rhetorical question. So those who are talking about interference and quoting law, for me, should I fold my arms?
Minister, there are issues around what in aviation practice called aquaplaning. In period of raining season, such as we are right now, and the possibility of this kind of occurrences, which is not only limited to
So they are the only ones that
Nigerians.
landed. Did you hear that the landing gear didn't come out? Is it aqua? Or you didn't hear? The full report will come out, but the immediate, even by the people themselves, by the communication with the tower, is that the landing gear didn't come out. Is that aqua?
So, in all of this, do you have an idea of how long these audits could take?
It can be as quickly as possible. I want, like I said, do the right thing, return to business.
So the question is,
yes,
the
and then we must do the right thing for the safety of Nigerians. Make sure that every airline, not only them, will carry an audit of all of them. All of them.
You know, one of the major criticisms.
Let you, Shehu, your family be safe when they fly our airlines.
One of the major criticism about safety.
Would you prefer that I be part of that cartel? Complete, with this complicity and all that. Would Nigerians have preferred I keep quiet and be part of the cartel? Would they prefer? In the name of, and I now hide under the fact that I am not supposed to interfere. What am I doing as minister?
You are taking full responsibility.
Complete control and responsibility.
Even despite the fact the criticism, you stand by your action.
When they are criticized, they should go and enter now. They should be criticizing in their rooms.
There is a major criticism.
Airlines that are not healthy.
On the authorities and regulators in Nigeria, they're more reactive rather than proactive. And this is, we cannot wait until incidents happen. And I'm imagining when there is a maintenance hub where we can also fix and maintain aircraft in Nigeria, maybe some of these incidents will reduce. But what are you doing in your own capacity to ensure that not only, because like you said, it's going to be too late when you discover that an aircraft is faulty in the air, in terms of being proactive, not just reactive when incident happen. What are you doing as a minister?
We are almost advertising now as I speak with you for MROs. We have offers from all over the world, people who are bringing in investments. So my essay on ICROC, on PPPs, who was seconded from ICROC to me, we are just about to advertise now, calling for bids from across the world. We have enough to go to bidding with, to establish world-class MROs. And if for the existing ones, that were here before, not for the wide bodies though, for the maybe 737s and all that, we'll support them and revive them. We want to get investors in, so that this major problem of maintenance. Some of these aircrafts you see, why the falsified reports and all that, they don't have the capacity to take their aircraft out anyway, to even source for foreign exchange to go for maintenance. And so sometimes they try to cut corners, and that's why they go into all of these sharp practices. But what we must do to encourage them and support them is to bring in the world-class MROs into Nigeria. We have enough of those proposals from across the world. Investors with their money will advertise, we'll get the best of them, and we should get in these MROs as quickly as possible into Nigeria.
The other day I was at the EFCC briefing when the EFCC chairman said that they are investigating the aviation ministry. And I remember that it was on this program that you spoke about your predecessors being investigation on your predecessor, and those who think that you are directly behind that probe.
No. This thing started before I came to office. You remember all these issues regarding Nigerian Air and all of that, and the House of Rep investigating, and some other issues. All of them before I came to office.
So you don't have a hand in this matter?
I'm just facing my job. I'm just
Yes, you said he's investigating your ministry. Are you aware?
Yes, under my predecessor.
Okay.
Under my predecessor.
What is the update on the UAE and the Emirates of the debacle in the relationship with Nigeria? We understand that there seems to be some clarity on the way to go, but it doesn't look like things are cleared just yet. What is the update now?
What concerns me, there are two issues. About three issues, really, not just two. One is the airline, Emirates. The other one is the visa. And the other one is some trade relations. The one that concerns me is the Emirates airline. They have written to me. They are sourcing for they're trying to retool, restart the route. And so they actually, I was on phone with them a couple of days ago, and that they are sourcing for the aircrafts to put. Normally it takes time for them to get the aircrafts ready to put on that route. The aircrafts that will be flying that route. That's where we are now. And I'm saying this publicly, and they are hearing me too. That is where we are now. So it's for them to just announce the date, but they are ready to start.
So Nigeria has done its own part, so it's left for Emirates.
Absolutely.
What about the visa?
We have agreed on all the issues.
The visa, if there are no visa for Nigerians to enter straight.
I understand. I'm not directly in charge of those issues. I think the Office of National Security Advisor is in charge of that. I understand those issues have been cleared there, but I cannot make a clear policy statement because it's not my portfolio. But I understand that issues have also been sorted out in that respect, and they're about to start too.
I mean, I'm worried, Minister, that in the past few months, there have been power outage at the airport. Not only at the Lagos airport, in one or two of the airports. Are you not also worried?
Yes, and we're looking at alternative power solutions. As I speak with you, our greatest, the greatest money guzzler we have at the diesel we spend all over the country for our generators. For Lagos, the power outage was because there was a problem with the line, one of the lines that are bringing power to the airports. But what we are looking at now, and what we're about to go into now, is a solar solution for our airports. One, it will drastically reduce what we spend on diesel by more than 60%. So, for instance, we are paying 1 billion naira per month for diesel and all of that. We can spend as less as 200 or 300 million. So we'll go into that. We're about to go, and it's on PPP basis too. We have a lot of people around the world who are, in fact, we have more proposals on solar solutions to our airports than any other kind of proposal. And we are about to advertise on that now too. We're advertising for solar, we're advertising for MROs, for PPPs, and for calling for open bids.
I must congratulate Nigerians, congratulate your ministry and this government for the support you gave to Air Peace, which in my thinking is the right thing to do.
Yes.
There must be an handshake between the government and the private sector. Yes. If it's an economy that we operate that is supposed to be dependent on the private sector, I think it's a fantastic idea. I saw you on that aircraft, the first aircraft that went, the Air Peace aircraft that went to Gatwick, and we've heard a lot of back and forth as to the kind of war that they have engaged Air Peace on. Would the government of this country allow that to go on?
Well, we have a duty to support our local airlines, not only Air Peace, all other healthy airlines, and for those who are unhealthy, bring them back to life too. Also exclusive, let me tell you that I've also approved just yesterday, I approved Air Peace for the Abuja-London route, not only Lagos-London. So I got the file yesterday and I approved that they should start the Abuja-London, all in a bid to, British Airways comes to Abuja too. So let Air Peace wants to also, block that part and start a war on that part too. But it's all for the good of Nigerians too. However, our focus has always been, look, empower our local operators on these international routes, make sure they get access to aircraft, especially dry leases, not just wet leases, dry leases. That is cheap enough, and that's how they can compete and then force down the prices on this international route. So it has been our focal policy, one of our policies. However, on this price war, we will continue to monitor the situation, and I can assure you, if there's anything government can do in terms of waivers here and there, we will talk to Mr. President, we'll go to the National Assembly. We have a duty to support our own. And in supporting our own, we're not supporting a private business. We are supporting Nigerians who are paying from their pockets and who should continue to pay lower fares from their pockets. That is what we are doing.
You know what I heard?
Yes.
There are those who have operated that route before.
Yes.
Who have said, look, it's just a matter of time. These people will frustrate that airline out of that route. And the question I asked that, will Nigeria, not even Nigerian government, will Nigeria allow that to happen? And we already hear what is going on the ground. For example, there will even be personnel that will give them a wing of the airport that is non-functional. They will have to literally carry with bare hands luggage and baggages of passengers from the aircraft to the conveyor belt. These are some of the discrepancy that is going on. And when we imagine it in the aviation sector, there is also this issue of reciprocity. But if the UK and those operators are treating the Nigerian business in this manner, what are you doing?
Listen, we are not going to leave it alone to the local operator to say, engage these people. Once these things are happening, at the point, remember I engaged the Gatwick Airport Authority and I told them, you know, I communicated with them. I said, we will be working closely with you to ensure that Air Peace has seamless operations at your airport. Not anybody saying that me, as aviation minister, I communicated with them. And they responded and said, we'll be ready to work with you. That is government support. And they will know that the Nigerian government is fully behind this flag carrier of Nigeria going back and forth. And under the principle of reciprocity, we are still very, very flexible. But we are going to continue to watch the situation and say, look, move us to Heathrow. We started Gatwick as a low-hanging fruit. Actually, they should be flying Heathrow. Because it will not be fair, for instance, if they keep doing that, you know, whilst they are flying to our A-class airport, which is, you know, Abuja Airport and the Lagos
Airport. Not only that, Minister.
Assuming tomorrow, yeah, I divert British Airways to Owerri. And without downplaying Owerri Airport or Enugu, it's not our nation's capital, for example. It's not our star airport. I mean, our international airport where all flights come into. I divert you to
Minister. The flexibility
or Yola.
The flexibility the foreign airlines enjoy against the competition of the local airlines are such that they will fly into our major airports. They will round trip around our local airport and fly to
those are unfair BASA agreements I met.
Those are the issues.
And I'm reviewing them now.
Yeah.
Those are the BASAs I met on the ground where that allows them to hop. They call it hopping.
Hopping, yeah.
They will hop and come and then deny our local airlines of that patronage. In fact, they can code share with them. They can share with them to say, look, you can't allow Qatar Airways to come to Nigeria, for example, and pick passengers in Port Harcourt, come to Lagos, pick and fly out. You should fly into one and go out.
They actually land in Abuja.
And then code share
a lot of the time
Airpeace,
they go to Kano and carry passengers.
Airpeace or IBOM or United or any of the airlines should pick the passengers from Port Harcourt and bring them to Lagos for you. Share with them, code share, with them. And all, but they are not doing it. But these are, like I said, agreements I met on the ground, unfair business agreements and BASAs I met on the ground. That I am reviewing right now. I'm reviewing the BASAs right now. I'm reviewing them.
Let me take you up on some of these funds that are locked up, and some of these operators are complaining. It's also affecting the Nigerian operated carriers who are saying that the CBN and the Nigerian government have locked up some of these funds. When are they going to be fully released?
Well, are you talking of the trapped funds?
Yeah, the trapped funds.
No, the central bank has met all its obligations. There are two types of trapped funds, just to inform Nigerians. So when they hear that, oh, some funds are still trapped, they should know that there are two types. One are the forward sales by the CBN. I think they call them forward sales, if I'm right, where, you know, that people bidded for, the central bank was not liquid enough to pay at that time. And so these foreign airlines bidded for those foreign exchange. But now the central bank, because of the right policies put in place by this government, they have met those obligations. They have paid all of that, amounting to about $160 million or thereabouts. The other ones are for the commercial banks. Tickets they sold, that these foreign airlines sold, and they kept the Naira component in these banks, commercial banks. The commercial banks are sourcing for foreign exchange and not, to remit to them. So that is it's not government responsibility, it's for the commercial banks.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that have not been fully met. But government on its own has met all its obligations.
If you can give us an understanding on the infrastructure fund that this government, the President Tinubu government is working on, and which we understand that the aviation sector is also going to benefit. You have also talked about the Aeropolis, which is supposed to be the standard. How about that?
Yes, the president graciously included aviation in the Renewed Hope Fund. And this fund is set up to fund major critical infrastructure away from normal budgetary provisions, because everybody knows that the envelope system cannot carry our heavy infrastructure. That is the kind of funding that built the second Niger Bridge. I hope you know. It was away from the normal budgetary provisions. It was a presidential, special presidential fund that was created to build it. Under that fund, you may have counterpart funding. Of course, funds will come from outside, investors will come, and then you provide counterpart funding too under that kind of fund. So aviation has been included in that. But let me just quickly say something about Keyamo. They have one of the best hubs that they are building in this country now. Massive infrastructure there. And I want to commend Governor Eno, one of the most visionary governors I've seen since he came into office. And the MRO there, if it comes alive, for wide bodies, if it comes alive, it's 90% complete. It's going to ensure that our airlines here get world-class service in Nigeria, and it's going to save us a lot of foreign exchange. But, they are still on it.
Isn't that what we're talking about?
Yes.
That we need to be able to identify states in Nigeria, constituent units that are on their own doing stuff that you can identify. Akwa Ibom here. I want to mention one or two other states that are doing something outside of aviation. Every state cannot do aviation.
Exactly.
Let them also do something else. Yeah. And let us have Gano Pyramid come back. Let us have the rice pyramid come back. Let us have the textile. Kebbi and Lagos.
Right.
So let's have that kind of swelling economic situation come up in our country. I have 30 seconds to go. Why did you give an exclusive right to Naibi company to get the landing fees for helicopters and at the aerodromes and all of that? Why?
I didn't. It was my predecessor. I inherited it. But then it's a good deal.
It's a good deal?
Yes, it's a good deal.
An exclusive right for that company to do that?
Yes, because before, helicopters were totally unregulated. I mean, we have lost millions and billions of dollars over these years. In fact, Nigerians believe that helicopters have been flying around this country, landing and flying without paying anything. Without paying anything, unregulated, totally unregulated. So somebody, like I said, government is a continuum. If you see a good idea, accepts a good idea. Yeah. So it's not that everything I cancel. Right. It's everything. I suspended Nigeria, I did all that, but this one is a good one, I didn't suspend it. Because now the person said, look, I can help you collect your fees from all helicopters. It's PPP. All right. And he will put the infrastructure in place, the personnel and everything they will employ, and then remit to the federal government. Everything is going to the federation account. And then they'll get their own cuts.
Honorable Minister for Aviation, Mr. Festus Keyamo, it's a pleasure having you clarify these issues for us. Thanks so much, Edith. And I wish you the very best.